Okay, so for whatever reason that just stopped. So anyway, maybe it's bloody battery's a bit down or something like that, but I'm recording again now. Yeah, I'll turn this thing over and see what happens. Okay, so we haven't got fuel out the top of it yet, so I'll let the air build back up and we'll have another go at it. Yeah, I thought we might see a little bit more action out the top of it, but no, there's nothing there as yet. Yeah, I just hope this camera is going to be alright. Like I say, it just stopped there. As soon as the air pressure cut out pretty well, it just stopped as well. So yeah, I hope we haven't got too many problems there. It'd be nice to get this video done. Hopefully this time it won't take quite as long to fill up, because you're not running it down to nothing on the starter. Yeah, it'll be a little bit quicker to fill up, generally speaking anyway. It did sound a little bit slow on the starter motor too. Yeah, maybe the starter motor, once you get through it, might be a little bit slow. The relay valve might be a little bit sticky, but we did pull that apart when we first got the truck going, and it's not hanging in, so when you press the button or you turn the key and you hit the starter, if it hangs in like the old F model did up there, yeah, you've got a problem with your valve. And with the one in the F model, I'd say it's just worn out, and it's probably slightly cocking the spool or the piston over, and it's just sitting in the wrong position, because it was nice and freshly lubed up, but it's still stuck when the air was in it. So there does come a point in time where things just get worn out and you're best off just putting a new one on there. Anyway, we'll see how this thing goes. Righto, build up air again. We'll give it another wind over. Okay, so we've got fuel out of a couple of them now, which is good. So it's getting around, circulating, building up its own pressure. Still got pressure there on the hand primer, which is always good. So yeah, we'll give it another wind over and see what's happening up the top of it. Because this pump was at a machine shop, I suppose it was fairly dry to begin with, even though they do use fluid in them to calibrate them and test them and so forth. Yeah, it was probably a little bit drier than what the one in the B model was. The one in the B model, from memory, it sort of came up pretty quickly and was almost there instantly. So if you just pull the fuel pump off to remove it, to replace a gasket or do something like that, and then you refit it, well, chances are it'll still be full. It doesn't all just leak out, because you've got those delivery valves up the top. You've got check valve on the bottom of them. You'll lose a little bit of fuel that might be sitting in a line, but otherwise they're not too bad. So it's just that when they're properly dry, you've got to fill everything back up. Yeah, they just take a little bit, that's all. The V8 ones can be pretty slow to get fuel through them because they're a little bit physically bigger pump. But anyway, yeah, it sort of looks like we've got fuel out of 3 of them there. Definitely 2, and looks like a 3rd. We should get it out, the rest of them, with either this turn or the next one. You know, they will start if you just had 3 or 4 that had fuel coming out of them. It probably would be enough to start it, but it's always nice to make sure you've got the fuel coming out of all of them, and then that way you can you know that the pump's clean, got plenty of fuel in it, and you can just proceed from there. Oh no, there we go again. We'll give it another try. Yeah, so we've got it out of 3 definitely, but like 1, 2 and 3, but yeah, the back 3 are still dry at the moment, so we'll give it another go. This is where electric starts pretty handy. You can just keep winding it over, and you know, you might get at least double the length of the hit that you would with this thing before you start getting things hot or giving the batteries a hard time. And you know, you can just sort of come out and check it, and you know, sort of give the starter a bit of a rest and give it another go. Yeah, rather than waiting around for the air start. So when you run these things out of fuel, which I've done a couple of times, yeah, it's not always a quick process to get them going again. If you're running a bit low on fuel and it gives a little bit of a flutter, you want to turn it off straight away. It sort of makes it a bit easier to try and bleed. But if you run them out dead dry, they can just be a prick of a thing to try and bleed. Just because you've got to do this very thing. So you've got to have a good air compressor close by, and yeah, you just got to keep winding the fuel through them. That's all you can do. You know, you can't just pressurise a tank and hope for the best. You've actually just got to just wind the fuel through it. So at least with this one, the injector lines haven't been off, the injectors haven't been off, so theoretically once we get fuel up to the top of the pump, it should be enough to start it. But yeah, when everything's dry, like if you've just done a rebuild or just engine work or something like that, yeah, it can take a little while. Anyway, we're getting pretty good at waiting anyhow. Oh yeah, we'll give it another go. Still no joy there. A little bit surprised there's nothing coming out of the back three yet, so hopefully we can get it, crank it up there soon before this camera packs it in. Or we run out of fuel in the compressor again, one of the two. We might just see how it goes once it's if we can get a fourth one to start bringing fuel up, we might just lock them up and see how it goes. Otherwise we might be here all day trying to make this video, so thanks for being patient. Just one of those things, I suppose. Anyway, we'll get it fired up. It won't be too long, hopefully. Righto, round 22. Yeah, so it's it looks like it's got fuel to the top of the snouts there. I might just give it one more spin over before I lock the front three up. Yeah, I'm sorry, I thought I might have gone a little bit sooner than this, but anyway, if it does want to fire up, we'll just let it run on 3 and gradually clear its throat, and then lock the injector lines up to get it running properly once it's got fuel coming out of the back three as well. Yeah. Bit of a pain in the arse, but anyway, it is what it is. So yeah, I think in tomorrow's video we'll I'll probably just give it a bit of a service, change oil, change the filters, do the coolant and the coolant filter. I'll just run through those valves and reseal the lids while I'm doing it. And anyway, here we go. We'll give this thing another crack. So got fuel out of the front four now. It looks like there's a little bit around number 5. So I've left the back 2 loose. So I'm hoping that in the next couple of turnovers it'll fire up, and while it's running, and sort of it'll run a little bit rough because it'll be a couple of cylinders down. We'll just lock those. As soon as they get a bit of fuel out of them, we'll just lock those back 2 lines up, and hopefully it just clears its throat by then. Anyway, we'll see what happens. It's made a liar out of me so far. Anyway, at least we've got a nice day for it today. Beautiful out here in the sun. Righto, we'll see how we go this time. Having all sort of problems here, and now the starter motor's throwing out, so just when I thought it might kick over and go, yeah, the old buddy starter threw back in, so threw back out. Anyway, nothing like a bit of a challenge for a Monday. With those couple of little half turnovers there, we got fuel out of number 5. So it must have half kicked because it's obviously enough just for it to break the torque of the starter motor and throw it out. So that's another job that probably want doing. We'll probably just want to pull that thing apart and grease the end of it up and check the bendix in it, and that's another job for another day. But yeah, it must be getting close now. I mean, there's only fuel to come out of number 6, and and it should go. So anyway, it's doing a very good job of making a fool of me so far. That's all part of the fun. If it worked first time every time and it was really easy, I suppose everyone would be doing it, wouldn't they? So these things were put here to test us. I can see what's going to happen here. We'll just get it going, then the camera will run out of fizz, and yeah, the grounding moment will be lost forever. So anyway, hopefully it fires up this time and we can give you a little bit of an idea about what it's doing. Hopefully that bloody starter motor just hangs together enough so we can get the thing started. Righto, we'll give it a go, eh? Fingers crossed. Rightio, so finally had a bit of success. Starter motor did the right thing by us, and the camera hasn't flown to bits yet either, which is a great thing. Turned the compressor off now that we've got lots of noise going, but yeah, running away nicely there. As you can see, it fired up quite easily on the, well, not quite easily, but it did fire up on 5 cylinders and ran a bit rough, and then cleared its road straight away once number 6 was tightened up. So yeah, anyway, that'll probably nearly do for today's video. I think we've had enough adventure. But yeah, anyway, that's a pretty good result, I reckon. See if she blows any smoke, eh? That's always good. She's getting plenty of tucker. Nothing wrong with that at all. So you can just see that tip fan. So yeah, that's a pretty good result, I reckon. So that'll be enough for today, as I've said for 200 times. But yeah, we'll do those rockers tomorrow and give it all a bit of a wash off and a bit of a service, and we might take it for a spin. So thanks for watching today, and well, both videos, this one and the last one. Yeah, and yeah, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, leave a comment. A few comments about this one last time. Yeah, I like to try and answer most of them if I can, or all of them if I can, and yeah, but yeah, whether it's just a thumbs up or a thank you or a you're doing this right or you're doing this wrong or this is how I do it, it all helps. It's all good. Yeah, get just as much from what your comments are as from what you get from me doing the video. So it's all appreciated. So and the only way we're going to get the channel to get bigger and better and make the content better and the better quality and of content as well is with all your help. And yeah, so thanks again, and we'll see you next time round.